Hi boys and girls. Today is day 9. Our journal topic is write about how you wash your hands. So I might write about how I sing the ABC song. I make sure to put the soap on the fronts and backs in between my fingers. I also make sure that it's around my wrists. We talked a little bit about how you might want to turn the water on first. At school you want to get those paper towels down. That way when you get the soap and wash your hands, you can just wash them off and grab the paper towel. Mr. Buckman likes to use a paper towel to turn the water off, and I like to use the paper towel to open the door if I can. Our math today has to do with the concept of do we have enough? So Tim has 10 friends, but he only has 7 oranges. He wants to give one to each of his friends. Does he have enough? So you're going to have to draw the oranges, and you're going to have to talk about how many more you would need to make 10. Today I have a nonfiction book for you. I'm a little sad I read this book on Dojo and it deleted it. So I'm back to redoing the book. You know what? Stuff happens. We have to make the most out of it. So this is animals, day and night. So we're talking about animals that are nocturnal. But remember, nocturnal means they're active at night. We're diurnal. And then crepuscular means they're active dusk and dawn. So when it first gets dark and first gets light. I'm going to give you a lot of information from this book, so please feel free to fast forward if you'd like, if you get bored. Great part about a video, we're going a little bit longer than we might normally, but you don't have to watch the whole thing if you don't want. Day is over, the sun goes down, many animals go to sleep, but some animals wake up. This book is also in Spanish. So again, I'm going to give you a zoo tour of these animals. A lot of these animals are at the zoo. So I'm going to pretend we're at the zoo and I'm going to use the book to help me. We have a koala at the zoo. His name is Cody. I told you a little bit about how he's one of the loudest animals at the zoo. When he gets stressed, he makes all this noise. He's a marsupial. He has a pouch. He doesn't move very much. By day, a koala sleeps in a tree. At night, he eats tree leaves. I think our koala is only active maybe an hour or 2 out of the day. Most of the time he's sleeping. When he is active, he does move around his tree and look for eucalyptus leaves. I've heard they cost like $1 million per koala. Very expensive because it has to be shipped from Australia, where they live, to Florida, and then Florida to the United States. That's where we get ours from, at least the leaves. And it is one of the coolest animals at the zoo. Hippopotamus. By day, hippopotamus sleeps in the water. At night, eats plants. Again, come right when it gets open, right when the zoo gets open. That's when these guys are most active. We have 2. They will run around in the exhibit. They like to eat watermelon, so the keeper throws it from up top and they open their mouth all the way and will eat a watermelon. They are a pachyderm, so they have thick skin. They have a mechanism where their body will rise to the top when they need to breathe, and then it goes back down when they sleep. They're considered to be the most dangerous animal in Africa because they're territorial, so they don't like other animals around them, and they are as fast, if not faster, than a human being. On the back of the book it said they're as fast, but they're actually, I believe, to be faster. An opossum. By day, an opossum swings from a tree. At night, it looks for food to eat. Opossums are in Ohio. I've told you, you can find them sometimes in your garbage can. They are scavengers, so they'll look for food anywhere they can find. They eat meat and plants, so we call that an omnivore. This is not the most accurate picture. The babies can hang from their tails, the adults cannot. They're too heavy. So I don't like that they do this a lot of times. I don't think it's the best representation. But again, we have them at the zoo, but we also catch them. I've been in the zoo when they've caught one of the opossums and they're getting ready to tag it, and they can identify where it goes, but they can also give the females medicine so they don't have more babies, the same way we would do with a dog or cat in Ohio. Rhinoceros. By day, a rhinoceros sleeps in the mud. At night, it digs for food in the dirt. Also a pachyderm. Also a very endangered animal because people want their horns. We have one right now that really enjoys water. We used to have 2, and a really cool story about Lulu. Her horn faced the wrong way. They think maybe when she was young and it was malleable when it was being formed, she could have rubbed it up against something. So they're next to the elephant exhibit. Along with elephants, they're a very endangered animal. Skunk. By day, a skunk sleeps in a hole. At night, it looks for food to eat. Skunks kind of get a bad rap. They only use that as a defense mechanism. They have a spray that they can spray 2 ways with pinpoint accuracy. These are also an Ohio animal. I've heard that you have to use tomato soup to get the smell out. So if you see a skunk, you want to stay away. But a lot of times they're spraying because they feel like they're going to get attacked by a dog. Sun bear, again at the zoo. By day, a sun bear sleeps in the sun. At night, he eats bugs and honey. Really good sense of smell. We feed ours honey from the zoo, from the bees that we have in the zoo that are able to get outside the zoo and make their honey. We have also had a sloth bear, and our sloth bear's name was Kara. Kara would come up to the glass when you put your hand there and would smell you. She was very interactive. The one we have now is a little bit older. We call that geriatric. When they get older, kind of like our grandpas, they don't move around very well. So she's more of a display bear now, not a bear that we would use to breed to have babies. Green turtle. By day, a green turtle swims in the water. At night, it lays its eggs on the beach. We have a green turtle named Tink. Turtles have a very hard time keeping their eggs. I shouldn't say keeping their eggs. After they lay their eggs, the eggs hatch and have a hard time surviving, I should say. So when they go onto the beach, a lot of times animals will eat them. There's a lot of trash in the water. People use nets, all these different reasons that sea turtles don't survive. I think it's like 0.02%, so 2 out of 1,000 or something that survive. Very, very small numbers. And the one that we have actually has bubble butt. She was hit by a boat. Her back shell has air in it, and because of that, we have to use weights to kind of push that down. Normally, her body would go up. You will see her sometimes at the bottom with her head dug in the ground. That's normal. That's resting behavior. And then they can actually train her to come up and get food. So she's a very special animal. People aren't allowed back to see her from up top, where I can go and take the kids around the other parts of the zoo, the big tank and whatnot. We can go behind the scenes and see that. You can go see our octopus if there's one there. The sea turtle is not allowed because she's a special donation and a very endangered animal. Cougars are in Ohio, used to be here, but now more southern Ohio. By day, a cougar sleeps in the hills. At night, it looks for animals to eat. They have many different names. They are endangered because people were hunting them. Again, just a really cool animal. They will actually hang meat in the exhibit if you can get in there. The cougars will come up. They're very young, very playful. A lot of our exhibits are really neat too because they will have like a stone that the animals can lay down on and it warms their bellies. It can also kind of cool them down. So again, a mammal. We have 3 of them. Very, very cool animal, but also one that we need to educate people about. We call that conservation. Helping to conserve the animal, helping to teach people about it. Fruit bat. By day, a fruit bat hangs from a tree. At night, eats fruit. We had a fruit bat that we used to teach our kids with. We've had vampire bats, and we talked just slightly about those. But bats are pretty interesting. In Ohio, you'd find them like hanging in a cave, but you wouldn't find these guys. These guys live in a different part of the world. But again, active at night. The ones we have are more flying around looking for bugs. Owl. By day, an owl sits in a tree. At night, it looks for mice to eat. Owls are considered to be one of the smartest animals in children's books. That's not always the case. They have actually a very small brain. Cool thing about them is when they go to the bathroom, they lay a pellet. I shouldn't say lay a pellet. They have a pellet, and if you take it apart like we do at the zoo, you can find the entire skull and body of the mouse or the rat or whatever they ate. So they only digest the meat. So that's kind of a cool science experiment sometime that maybe you'll get to do when you're older, an owl pellet dissection. But again, you can find these in Ohio. We talked a little bit about our screech owl. That little owl, he's active at dusk and dawn, again, crepuscular. He goes out and gets his food and avoids these big owls. So you might have some big barn owls or other owls that live near you. And a screech owl too. Kangaroo. By day, a kangaroo sleeps in a cool place. At night, eats small plants. We've had wallaby, but a cool story about our kangaroo, their pouch can be sucked in or out like that. And when they're scared, one of ours could not see very well. So because she was worried about the noises around her, she sucked in that pouch and then the baby is thrown. And they do that to protect themselves so they can hop off. Unfortunately, they don't take care of their babies after that point as much. The baby can go back into the pouch, but they eventually will kind of move on from the baby if they're in danger. Boa constrictor. By day, a boa constrictor sleeps in a tree. At night, it eats its food whole. This is a constrictor, so it's squeezing its prey, whereas other snakes might grab and go. We do have some venomous snakes that will use a venom to slow down their animal. I do hear my kids coming, so I'm going to try to finish up our book. Caiman, by day a caiman stays in the water, at night it looks for food to eat. So this is a crocodilian, and it has a nictitating membrane that is on its eye. It's like a clear layer so it can see under the water. We have the largest crocodile in the United States. His name is Brew. He's about 17 feet, and he was found in a farm in Australia. Two-toed sloth. By day, a sloth sleeps in a tree. At night, it eats fruit and leaves. There are two- and three-toed sloth. These guys can move a little faster, but they usually don't to conserve energy. They can swim. So our sloth at the zoo we'll use for education. It'll actually climb up a stick and we can show kids that animal. Couple facts. On land, hippos run as fast as humans. And I, again, say they run faster. Rhinos can live almost 50 years. Again, animals live longer in captivity in the zoo than they do in the wild. Female green sea turtles may swim thousands of miles to lay eggs on the beach where they were born. So they go back to where they were born to lay their eggs. Owls see mostly in black and white. We talked about how most animals do that. That's another reason that animals are black and white like zebras, because lions and other animals see in black and white. Baby kangaroos are only an inch long when they're born. So very, very small. I hope you enjoyed this nonfiction book. Again, please feel free to stop and go forward if you need a break. It's a long book. Went a little longer than I might have in class. But I just suggest, again, find puzzles, find things to do. Kindergartners, keep yourself busy. I found this puzzle the other day. We're going to be doing that pretty soon with the girls and obviously with help. And then just stay at it, keep writing. I really highly recommend right now that you get outside today, get some sidewalk chalk. Instead of doing that writing in class, maybe go outside and do it in sidewalk chalk. And for the homework, just keep at it. I know a couple of parents were asking about getting that turned in, as soon as you can. We're looking at possibly doing like a S and a U or some sort of grading that way, where it would be satisfactory for getting all the work done or unsatisfactory. So that paperwork that you're doing is going to determine that grade. So just getting that done is the most important thing. Just if you need help, send a dojo. I'm here to help you as much as I can. But boys and girls, I really want you getting out and doing fun things. So I'm going to write this in the bottom of our comment section, but for our next Zoom, I would like you to dress up like a character, Halloween costume, a mask, anything that isn't scary. Okay, remember, we can't do things that are inappropriate. We want one of those scary movie masks. I don't want anything that's going to scare our friends, but something fun. Mr. Buckman will do the same. And I thought, let's make it a double. Let's do a show and tell as well. So our next Zoom, we will do Monday let's do it an afternoon one, because I know we've done the last couple at 10. So let's do an afternoon one let's do 5 p.m. I'm going to do a 5 p.m. Zoom on Monday. So that way some of those kids that haven't participated might be able to because their parents are off work. So we're going to do Monday at 5 p.m. I need to write this down. And you're going to wear a costume. So please bring a costume, wear a mask, anything you want that's fun. And then also bring something to show. Now, because we're doing show and tell, it's going to be probably a little harder to see and hear. There is a button on there that you can mute. Right in the front, it's just a little microphone. Please click that unless your child is talking. I'll remind you when we get there. But again, we're going to do a Zoom at 5 o'clock on Monday, costume and show and tell. All right, miss you guys. Have fun outside. Again, get some sidewalk chalk, do something fun. Try to do some of your learning outside and make it more enjoyable. And then I mentioned you could also build a nest today if you can find some fun stuff. If you do build a nest with materials, leaves and sticks and stuff, send me a picture of it. I'd like to see what you're working on. All right, love you. Bye.